Hello, and welcome to the second episode of the Out of Interest podcast. Today, we are joined with a special guest, John C. Stout, as he is known on TikTok and Twitch. So, John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Doing really good. Just got back home from Florida, and
Yeah.
doing really good.
So, I have a couple of questions lined up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just want to start off with how you got into Twitch. You started out as a wedding photographer. You still are. And you built up quite an impressive portfolio on Instagram and on your own website. So how did you get to Twitch?
Well, so it was actually like perfect timing, and this is gonna sound like such a horrible way to say that because like it involves COVID. Basically, me and my family moved from Nashville, Tennessee to Kansas City. And when we moved there, we kind of left back all of our clients with photography and everything. So like I was growing very quickly there. And then we moved to Kansas City, and we basically, in my head, I was like, okay, I need many sources of revenue because it took me 5 years to get full time with photography. And so I tried Lyft for a little bit. I did Uber for a little bit. I did basically everything under the sun. I started my YouTube channel up again. And Twitch was always something I wanted to try, but I was told that it was like nearly impossible to even grow on because of the time. I'm sure you know a little bit, like growing on Twitch alone is basically impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks basically. So I was talking to a buddy of mine who's been doing Twitch half full time, half part time. Like he makes a lot of his money from there, and he was just saying, "Oh my God,
making lots
hey,
of money.
I'm doing an interview right now." This is my dad. Sorry about that.
Hey.
Where?
Yeah.
Who is it? What are you interviewing?
I got to do an interview.
What are you interviewing for?
Oh my God, you can cut this if you want to.
No, it's fine.
Huh?
I gotta go. I gotta do the interview.
Everything good?
Everything's great.
All right. Do your little interview. I'll talk to you later.
All right, love you.
Come back when you're not all busy.
Okay.
All right, love you. Bye.
Love you, Dad.
All
Dad's doing work on our house right now.
All right.
Sorry about that. So yeah, we moved, and basically was talking to a buddy of mine about Twitch, and was like, is it worth it or is it a waste of time? Like, how hard is it going to actually be to start up? And he said he said if I'm willing to wait 5 years for it to be full time, it could be something massive. And
yeah.
So, sorry, go on.
No, sorry. I just wanted to. I've got a little bit of information here regarding your Twitch and regarding so what Social Blade thinks of your Twitch, really.
Oh no.
No, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Social Blade predicts that your follower count will double in the next 2 months. It says you'll hit 20K by September.
Really?
Yeah, it also predicts you'll hit 55K by the end of the year.
I never check Social Blade. I'm kind of scared about prediction stuff like that because I'm worried they're going to be like, you're going to be dead by tomorrow.
I have no idea how they predict it or whatever, because you kind of blew up, right?
Yeah.
You gained over 10,000 followers on Twitch in like a span of 30 days. And now you average around 100 or more viewers a stream. Did you expect this at all?
No. I think that was the thing with TikTok, because that's where I blew up on, was TikTok virality. And it's really funny because I think they think there's a formula and there's not.
Yeah.
At least not on my side. I was just posting videos that I thought were funny and good, and then there was that one moment that I had with that viewer that I honestly didn't think was going to blow up. I just basically, what I wanted to do was advertise like our community, be like, hey, we're here for you guys. Like, I know everything's really really rough right now. Like suicide rates have gone up like doubled or tripled since COVID, and like everything's kind of hard because people don't have their friends to talk to anymore in real life. And so a lot of people have come to Twitch to kind of be a part of a community. And basically the end goal was for me to just be like, hey, if you guys need someone to talk to, or just even friends to make, like, just come here. And I didn't think that was going to blow up because, like, content like that, in my opinion, to what I had seen, had never blown up. It was always just like, oh, what a nice guy, like, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it was crazy. It was overnight because we hit 1 million views in 2 days. And that freaked me out a lot because it didn't just start with TikTok, like it expanded into every social media that I had. So that was Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, everything. And I've never experienced that ever.
Yeah, I mean, so your channel views on Twitch have increased by sixfold in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Followed by 189 times, which is insane. I mean, on the 29th of June, you had 45 followers, and then on July 13th, which was 2 weeks ago, you had 8,000 followers.
Yeah.
You've surpassed 10,000 now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost to, I think we're at 12K right now.
Yeah. So to celebrate the $10,000 follower milestone, you had a 24-hour stream. So why a 24-hour stream? That like an awful idea from a...
Oh, it's horrible. That was the most I've ever been tested, and I recommend it once. There are people who do it like 3 times, maybe 4 times a year, and I don't know. Like basically, I would stream for a long time. My streams go from like 2 to 10 p.m. 10 p.m. is when I should stop, but I end up going longer. And there was one time I did a 17-hour stream. I was like, that wasn't bad. Like I could do 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it wrecks you, dude. It's rough. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
You're gonna ask, how do you decide what you do on stream?
For the 24-hour, just regular?
It's just regular. Like obviously you've got a streaming schedule, but the actual content of the stream, how do you decide what to play or what to do?
So one thing that I learned with photography is that there's going to be people who don't like you no matter what. There are people who love my work, don't like my personality. And then there are people who love my personality, hate my work. And it's one of those things, if you're going to be known on social media and if you're going to build a presence there, you have to be okay with that. And so with that, one of my goals was to never be a slave to the viewer, which, a lot of people get stuck there. And I did a ton of research on Twitch before I joined, but there were so many people who were like, I felt like I couldn't play another game. Yeah. I felt like I couldn't do that. So with my thing is, one, I think people, how do I word this? I think you can make, depending on the person, you can make any game super fun to watch if you're entertaining enough. And just with what I play, like I play what I enjoy most of the time. If I feel like I haven't talked to chat in a long time, like I'll play a single player game. So like it doesn't matter the gameplay, like they're there for the relationship side. But when it comes to that stuff, like I've made it pretty clear, almost like kind of in an a-hole way, but I was like, hey, like I appreciate your guys' support, but like I'm not your slave.
Yeah.
Nor will I ever be. No one should be. If you want to support, feel free. Like I love it. It's awesome. But at the same time, like you don't really get to tell me what to do because you paid me $5. Like there are some times where like I don't know. Like it's a very uncomfortable middle ground to be, to where it's like either you're going to be an a-hole and you don't care about the viewers, or you're only going to cater to everything they want. And it's like you have to find that middle ground to be like, yeah, of course I'll reward you guys for supporting me. Sure, sometimes. But most of the time, I'm going to be playing the games we play and like entertaining. And because my goal for Twitch and how I think Twitch should be, I think it's frustrating because people, even to this day in 2020, they're just like, oh, they just want to watch me play video games. Nobody just wants to watch you play video games unless you are a professional esports player. You have to have some form of entertainment, because if not, I could just watch a playthrough on YouTube. So yeah, sorry for these long answers.
It's fine. It's good. So when you're streaming on Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
the highlights or the best parts, they get cut up into YouTube videos and
Yeah.
uploaded. And currently on your YouTube channel, although your content's been more focused on what's on your Twitch stream now, the most viewed video is about your stream setup.
Yeah.
It's about your PC specs and, all that. So that being your most successful video, what kind of direction do you want to take your YouTube content in the future?
I want it to be a mixture of both, of entertainment, just stream highlights, but then also I want to educate people, because it is a massive, massive learning curve. For a lot of people, it just doesn't it's not common sense to just look up something and do the research. And so a lot of people will check out my stream, and I got a lot of people like up and coming streamers, and they just don't know. And so I want to be entertaining as well, but at the same time, I definitely want to highlight some things that I'm like, hey, if you're streaming, this is what I struggled with. This is what I did. So I think there's a way to do it with both. Like right now, I'm definitely putting out more stream highlights because it's a lot easier and a lot more people are watching it. Like I think so with YouTube, I'm about to be able to monetize that, which is awesome. And I'm super thankful for the support from TikTok just flooding over into other avenues. But it's been really cool. But I've seen a lot of people interested in stream highlights and just kind of chopping that up. But at the same time, I still want to educate. I can't educate on tech specs a lot. Like I'm not a Linus Tech Tips or Alpha Gaming Harris Heller type guy. But one thing that I do know is keeping yourself emotionally healthy while you do this, because with Twitch streaming, you can really compare yourself in numbers and why am I not doing this? Because Twitch is a job that's all on you. Like if they don't like you, you're the product. And so you go home to that and being like, okay, so I suck because they don't like me, because this guy's playing the exact same game, has a worse setup, and it's just me. And that hits so much harder than any other job. Work ethic is like something that people can just be like, whatever. But when it comes to your personality, that hits really hard.
It seems like really emotionally draining, but you've had a little bit of practice. Like you've got your own podcast, the Leave the Light podcast.
Yeah, I haven't put out any content on for so long.
It has many similarities to your Twitch streams. Like it's the same it's the same, long periods of time where you have to be entertaining, and you're talking about issues or like events going on in the world. So has this helped with your experience on Twitch, or has it kind of hindered it? Because once it was just audio and now you've got audio and visual and you have to focus on more things, you need to make look like presentable, I guess.
Yeah, I think for me, because I'm a photographer and I love telling people like where I stream, because my stream setup looks nice because of a thing that I learned with photography is all you have to do is fill the frame. I'm streaming in a basement right now.
Yeah,
dude, you get it. But like putting blankets up to block the AC unit that's right behind me to where we can get good sound. Like I totally forgot to block it up for this, but I think the mic is, because it's so close to my mouth, that's not picking it up. Thank God. But one thing that like I loved about streaming, it was like, oh, I have these two really nice expensive cameras and I'm gonna double like I don't know. It was like a fun challenge because I was like, okay, I have this little disgusting space. I have a desk. I have a pretty good PC. I have a really nice PC now, only because of the support from people from TikTok. But like coming over, seeing that challenge, I was like, I'm so excited because there's gonna be so many people that are just like, God, your setup looks so nice. It's like, if only you saw the wide angle. So it wasn't hard with the video. Because I was doing the podcast, and that's what I recommend to people. I was like, you need to be comfortable with talking to yourself. Like you have to. Like if you don't, you're just gonna be there silently gaming, and it is awkward as a viewer. I've watched a few of my friends do that, and they just don't commentate. They just don't talk.
Yeah.
Until I'm like, hey man, how are you doing? And they're like, oh hey. It's like, no, you stay awake the entire stream. Don't just go into autopilot.
I mean, it must be difficult, like streaming for you've done a 24-hour stream, you've done 17-hour, but just on a day basis, like being active and being entertaining for like 3 or 4, 6 hours on end seems really difficult. So do
Yeah.
you struggle with fatigue while streaming? Like, do you ever get bored of it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a time I hate this. There's a time I almost fell asleep on stream
Okay.
because I was just not feeling it. And then I played Animal Crossing and I was like, and there was even a time in the video where I like sat back in my chair and I was like, maybe I should just go to sleep. And one of my mods was like, end the stream right now. This is so bad. And so like one thing I would advise you is like, or advise anyone is like, get food with you, snacks, do that, get an energy drink if you can, like, and only use it like halfway through. That way, like, if you have a set time, you can get that halfway, drink it, or drink coffee or tea, whatever gets you motivated and energetic. But man, you've got to prepare. I mean, honestly, you have to treat it like a job. If your job caught you like sleeping, you'd be fired or a severe warning. And if people treated it like that, there'd be so much more people on Twitch just thriving. And I mean, you can't be on all the time. It's very hard to. I mean, especially with the content that I put out that blew up, like there's a lot of emotional, not in a bad way, but emotional people who are coming into my Twitch chat, and those conversations are the hardest because they're just like, "Hey, man, like this happened to me, and I need someone to talk to you." It's like, "Okay, what's up, man? How you doing?" And there's days where there was a guy who came in, and like I messaged him and apologized, but he came in with some heavy stuff, and I was like, "Man, I'm sorry, I just can't do it today. Like, I just want to be entertaining. Like, I just can't." And so like it was hard because with that content that blew up, all these people who needed people to talk to like flooded in, and I was not ready for it. Basically, what happened overnight should have happened in 2 years.
Yeah.
And I had a plan for that, and I was totally fine with the viewership that I had and the people who were in there. I was insanely content because I was going faster than what the average was. But having it go that fast, I was like, it threw me into a whirlwind. I didn't have any time to prepare. We had to mod some new people. We had to unmod people who weren't ready for the growth, and they didn't want that. And so it was like it in the span of a week, I had to readjust my entire channel. And there, of course, like with that growth, there are people who are like, you know, you're not the same. I was like, okay, like, yeah, I was like,
Changed. Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, what did I change? And they're just like, you don't talk to me the same. I was like, because there's like 30 to 50 new people that I'm just like, I'm trying to. I was like, but that's why Discord's there. Discord, I'm able to talk to a lot more people, have some one-on-one conversation that I'm not streaming on. I can't do it all the time because there's how many members are there now? There's over, sorry. I think there's over like 500.
There's 45 subs, and then there's like a bunch of people offline. I don't know. There's too many people.
Yeah. It's
Like,
crazy.
it's insane. There's
Yeah. And I'm thankful for it, but I mean, it's so funny because I was talking to my brothers about it, and they're like, "How's it been?" I was like, "It's funny because people are saying I'm changing, and I haven't." And and it's one like that's why I have so much patience for bigger streamers. People like say, "Well, you actually care about your viewers." It's like they care, bro. They do. They just can't answer paragraphs of messages that go by, and it's so tough. Like,
yeah. And it's scary as well, streaming on Twitch and growing on Twitch, because
yeah,
not only do you get more people coming in and people start to question, well, do you care about me? But
yeah,
there's also the threat of just a platform change all of a sudden.
yeah.
Like with Mixer, obviously that didn't go very well. I mean, without, trying to get hostile, it scared you enough into making a Mixer account. Which, yeah, I mean, that's it's crazy that people can just flock to a different app that quickly.
Yeah.
So,
oh, dude, when I saw Ninja switch over, I was like, oh, Twitch is dead, bro. And then Shroud was like, Twitch is so dead. And then nothing. And then nothing.
So, would you ever switch platforms if like the demand called for it?
Whoa, that is a That's a tough question because I think you know what happened with Dr. Disrespect. He just got banned, which nobody has any idea why.
No, he doesn't even know.
Yeah, but with that, there's been so many platforms that were like, hey, you know, we're here if you need. Like there was like Brime or something, and then you know all these other places. But the thing is, like YouTube and Twitch are. If I was to switch to a platform, it'd be YouTube.
Yeah.
Because YouTube, everyone uses. My dad uses YouTube. That old man that just busted through the back of my my background, like he uses YouTube. My mom uses YouTube. Everyone uses YouTube. But the difference between YouTube and Facebook is it's not covered in toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't ever want to stream to Facebook, but just because I just don't. It's not an option to me. And no shame to people who do. Like if you have a platform and you're thriving, bro, I'm so happy. But if it was to go to another Mixer thing, no. Because it needs time, and it would have to be a huge thing. Like I'm about to start making full-time finances from Twitch right now. And so like I'm pretty solidified in, unless there was a massive shift of people in like Twitch just decided to screw over their creators and you know and do all that. Like I don't know. It's one of those questions me and my buddy, few of my friends have had, and it's just like, what would it take for us to switch?
Yeah.
And it obviously shows that having the biggest name on Twitch doesn't matter, or two, with Shroud, you know, being the more likable one out of Ninja and Shroud publicly.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. Me personally, I don't think I'd switch. If I was to switch, it'd probably be YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with YouTube gaming as well, and I think a lot of people have this, is that, you know, you've already got brand integration on that platform. You upload.
Right.
It's not a new thing. You're just adding to it. So, in your opinion, how important is it to integrate different social media platforms into your brand, into the Fancy Site brand? How important is it?
Massive. I'm about to change my photography business account to John C. Stout, and I want to start implementing stream stuff with that, because having two Instagrams, which I started one just for streaming because I didn't know it was gonna blow up so quickly, it's exhausting. Like I don't even post on that because I'm like I don't have time. I don't have time for the second Instagram. So yeah, what it just shows with Twitch and like, dude, with TikTok, out of all the apps that started out as a joke in 2019 and then became the most used app ever, like, yeah, you have to put your content on other platforms. And I think it's funny when people are like, well, I don't like social media. I was like, good luck. With Twitch, good luck. If you can blow up off, I don't even know how you would blow up, how people would find you. Like it's just not built for people to be found on the application. It's just not. And so yeah, social media is a must, even for my photography business. So I get jobs from hashtags that I use on like wedding client, hashtag wedding client, hashtag wedding bride. Like people find me from that and like, hey, you free? And I just made like $3,000 from a wedding. So like it's totally viable.
Yeah. So looking more long term, well, we can start off in the next 30 days, right?
Yeah.
Where's your channel going? If we come back to you at the end of August, where would you like to be?
I would like to. So I actually got a VR. It was actually from one of my viewers and really good friends. Just sent it to me because he happened to have two.
Of course,
which makes no sense to me. But if I was to do anything, I'd want to expand. I'd want to. I don't know. That's such a hard question because I didn't have to think about. I wasn't supposed to think about this for another 2 years. Like, but if a month went by, I would love to have like my space more finished out instead of this black room with black screens and all that. Like I would love for it to be more of a homier environment. When it comes to viewership, I'd love to have a steady, like I'd love to be partner by next month. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd love to be partner by next month. Dude, that's what people ask is like, if, you know, our finance is a thing. I was like, I'd rather be partnered over financed. because there comes that validity of my channel. Because even people who have like probably about the same amount of followers that I do are partnered, but they only have like 30 viewers, and they're still valid. Like every time I see a check mark, I was like, oh wow, this guy, like, he's real, like he's a real deal.
Yeah.
So having that check mark, even though it doesn't do anything for me financially, it does something to me in my brain to where it's like, okay, I can start like making my steps forward, like the big steps. I'd love to be sponsored, but I I have a hard time with trust. So I don't have anyone shoot photographs for me for my weddings, because if they fail, I fail, and they get total written off because it's not their job, it's not their name. If I partner up with a brand and the brand's bad, my name gets tarnished. And that's something that I've worked really hard on to build in a positive light. And, you know, for sponsorships, I'd love to get something. I don't know what, but I'd love to have something there.
Yeah, because it's almost like it's more valid.
Yeah.
You have a sponsorship, like brands are recognizing you. That's a big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that another thing is, like, there's always this part of me that I don't like having my viewers pay me subs. It sounds funny. Like, I know it's part of the job, but I'd love to get income that's steady, that's not from them. Like, my thing is, I'd love to be branded, and then YouTube making money, and then TikTok with its like creator platform that they're just started doing. I would love to make money from ads and advertisers, because they have wicked amounts of money, versus the people who are like, hey man, don't have $5, I'm so sorry. It's like, no, I don't want it. It's like, it's a weird mixture. Like, of course, yeah, I would love to make so much money on Twitch, but at the same time, it's weird knowing that there's some people who just don't have the money and they're still giving me money. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, why are you doing that to me? Like, yeah. So I think that's where I'd want to be in the next month. If it doesn't happen the next few months, I give myself a little bit of time, and I'm not really discouraged easily, because it took 4 or 5 years to get full time with photography. So I have that like on my backpack, is like, just, hey, it'll take time. Keep working hard. Don't just ride this virality and then just pray to God something else goes viral. It's like, actually put in the hard work to do it, and then you should be set.
Yeah. All right. So that just about does it for time for this episode.
Oh shoot, sorry.
Fine, that's fine. We hit the mark perfectly. So
awesome.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Dude, of course.
Yeah. I will leave your link to YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok in the description, so the viewers watching on YouTube can check it out. Those of you watching on Spotify, you can go over to YouTube and you'll find all of John's links in the description. John, thank you very much.
Dude, of course, man.